Loss of yards on the run.
It's
Third
the
down.
grease board. We're going to try to get a few more videos up for you. In the meantime, here's Maximum Football's beta first release. This is hours in, ladies and gentlemen. And the first thing you'll notice is that the graphics and the animations are really, really good. Now, this is the kicking mechanism. We're just going to go with it as it happens. The kicking mechanism is kind of weird. Here you have the timing of the power at first. I had no idea what was going on. But the timing for the power is first, and then after that, you have the directional thing going back and forth, and then you select it again. All the controls are pretty much the same as Madden, as you would expect. It is missing a few controls, but let's get into it.
First down.
Son, ready? Put. Push him, push him.
The animations are great, but something you'll notice there is that my dive just went right through that guy. So, animations look great, running looks great, catches look pretty good. Tackling's a little hard. You don't dive that far on tackle. Maybe it's more realistic if you want to say that. But at the same time, I found it a little bit easy to complete a pass. You're going to see a lot of, over-the-top passes like that, where it's just really hard to get in between it. Something else you're going to notice here is when the offensive linemen get a pancake, they'll come out and they'll start helping more guys. They'll come out and start helping more blocks. And you're going to get a lot of, opportunities to scramble with a quarterback when these guys pull off of their first guy and come out to help you. Here you're just going to see an easy run. I thought it was a little bit easy to get outside the pocket and, scramble for a first down, scramble for 15 yards. There is, intelligence with the defensive backs and the linebackers to come out and get you, but I thought that was a little bit too easy. Running was hard. Running was what you hoped it would be. As you can see here, that's a toss out to the right, break one tackle, and then get crushed. Running's a lot harder than passing was. Now, a little thing that I had a problem with on the tackles is they kind of snapped out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Where the animation kind of sticks to you really, really quickly. And what I mean by that is not that it was predetermined or anything, but, when you get hit, you expect a little bit of a flow. Of, a collision of the bodies. And while it looked unique, while it looked organic, I didn't feel like, okay, I'm getting hit most of the time. Sometimes there's big hits that look really good, and other times it's kind of like you're running into each other, and then things, you're just on your ass. A little bit of a glitch possibly was that there was a lack of sound on a lot of the tackles. Here I am getting a hang of the field goal, which is a little weird. I'm not sure I approve of the process there. And also, the 99,000 overall kicking power was a little bit strange, but here we are in a demo, so it's hard to spit on that, let's say. I wasn't having the greatest first quarter, or as the screen shows, the oath quarter, or the 0th quarter. Not exactly sure how we say that one. The playbooks were pretty good. Of course, there were some glitches about navigating it, which happened and popped up from now and again. But again, we're in a beta demo, basically, here. And this is cool. This was the silence you hear on the interception. I thought maybe the other team got a little bit of a head start on that. But let's rewind that, and you'll hear the silence.
Interception by number 2. Number 76 with the tackle.
So I tried to get some variation in here for you with the tackles, stiff arms, which you do left and right with the left and right bumper buttons, trucking, which is also use of the right stick up on the joystick, and you're going to truck. We go for the distance here, we go for speed. And again, the over-the-top touchdowns are pretty easy. We're going to get a celly in here for you. Of course, celebrations look great. Animations and player designs looked amazing with the Unreal Engine. Gotta go for 2 here. Let's see how I did. Gonna roll right all the way. This is the point where I tried to run and I got absolutely crushed by this guy. So, like I said, on some of the times when you're scrambling, you can get a little bit of extra yardage, but I thought they did a pretty good job of having the CPU, notice this, recognize it, and in that case, crunched, and there was a significant bounce off of my corpse there, and I think my guy was injured. Now, kickoffs were the most fun part of the game, I thought. Despite these kicks, and I was just screwing around with it a little bit there, kickoffs were the most fun part of the game because I think the running animations and the control on the runs were the best part as they return a touchdown on me. And as you can see, these 2 guys on the right, their stamina runs out, which significantly causes you to slow down. This guy's dancing, he's styling on me. But when I first started the game, and I took a kick return, and I got crushed, I was like, okay, this is a real game. The running and the movement is actually really fluid. I really like the way running backs and players overall move. It wasn't the problem with the game at all. The problem with the game, it was pretty hard to play secondary, pretty hard to play defense, and it was a little too easy to get balls over the top and get wide receivers long distance passes. Not sure what happened there.
Number 38 with a 1-yard run for the score. 2 yards gained on the run by number 38.
It didn't take long for me to start going back and forth with the CPU here and just throwing bombs. So that's something that the team there over at Maximum Games really needs to focus on. The secondary being able to stick with the wide receiver. Here's the kickoff, which, a couple times I just blatantly missed it. It didn't suction it to me at all. But here's the great kickoffs. I had a lot of fun returning balls in that regard. I don't think I even got 1 punt return throughout the game. I don't know if that was even available, but I couldn't stop the CPU outside of field goal range. See, there's another bomb. And it was just kind of, let me throw it up and get this thing in the back of the end zone and give him a little bit of a dance here for the cameramen. Or, a springboard backflip. So they also made the customization available, so you can get the hang of what it's like to customize a team in this. You couldn't just click on Create Team. It was a little bit confusing. You click on Create Team, then you clone the existing team. You're going to see me click back and forth trying to figure that out. I was like, what the heck? Why is this even in the game if you can't use it? But eventually I figured out what was happening. So here we are. You've got your school short form, which is of course going to show up in the scoreboard. You've got your team nickname, which maybe is, I'm trying to put in Plan Trusters or Plan Trust. I'm really confused there. Up in the top left here is your school name, and then in the top right is the school official team name. The Firebirds there, your state and your city, and the year in which it was founded is part of a drop-down menu there. And of course, we're going to go with the earliest year possible, which is 1869. Of course, the Lubbock Firebirds were started in 1869. Oh, actually, it was a different team. So once you've got your team name and info filled out, you've got tons of pre-made logos happening here. You've got some gators, you've got some warthogs, you've got some stars, rams, skulls, sharks. And I wanted to go with the Creighton-looking Blue Jay for the Toronto Blue Jays, for the Creighton Blue Jays. And then you can see at the top there, I was showing that the custom logos are there, but it is grayed out for now. I wanted to just upload a picture of myself as a logo. Couldn't do it just yet. So you've got your color palette here. You can change the jersey that you want to edit and even add, of course, even more. But you've got your base color in 1, 2, 3 different colors. Then you've got font types for the names, which we're going to go down and select, Sulphur Point Regular, because that sounded the coolest. And then the number font, we're going to go with Sulphur Point Regular as well. After that, we're going to go on over to helmets, and you can see 6 different helmet types to choose from at the start. And what we're going to go back and see here in a second, after we've selected everything, is that the ones that are not sponsored helmets, you can customize. You can see down at the bottom the Y button, it says to customize. Tons of different face masks available. I think I'm going to go with maybe one of the most normal ones that I can find, Cranium ZX1, unless I can find something, equally as normal. That's the old face mask, the old linebacker one, but let's go with Vortex TSG. Visor here, you have 3 different curvatures, I guess you could describe it as, for the visors. He looks very happy with that type. And then we're going to move over to jersey. We're going to choose the less tight one. For shirt, we're going to go with long sleeves so we don't scuff up our elbows. And then you can choose bands on the left and right elbows. So again, what this is makes the default uniform style for your teams. You can go in, you'll see this in a minute, you can go in and change anything you want for each player. We got different pants, we got 5 different pants types as it stands. Gotta have the towel, but we're gonna keep it PG-13 and put the towel down, right down Broadway there. Didn't really care about knee wraps. We're gonna move on over to gloves. There's 4 different types of gloves here. And like I said, those Adidas gloves, if you select them, you cannot customize them. You see the customize option come off. But as soon as you go back onto a different one, you can see the Y button pops back up because you can change the colors. So you can customize all the colors on all your equipment just like this. It'll throw you back to the colors that you've set for your team. And there's all these different types of colors to select from by default as well. And it'll just apply it if you want to use your team color. You'll see again the Adidas ones you can't customize. You can't change the color schemes on those ones. But you can go in for cleat number 3 and change all the colors. And then the really cool thing is there's like the 4th and 5th layer of these things. Okay, you go into a team helmet, and not only are you changing the color of the helmet if you want, like this. We want to go gold because we're kings for some reason up in Alaska. You can change the finish type. And there were 7 here: satin, glossy, chrome. I had to go with chrome. Makes me feel like I'm from Notre Dame or something, I guess, with that gold. And then you can go in and select the customization on any number of these different elbow pads, the different pants, the shoes, and of course the visor. You don't want to have just a regular visor. Why would you do that? You need a red one, you need a gold one, you might need a glossy black one, a matte, I don't know, mauve one perhaps, ladies and gentlemen. But people are going to make some really cool teams. As you can see, you can change the logo on the pants. And they really thought about this. And not to mention, the detail on these pads is phenomenal. The detail on the helmets and the visors is absolutely phenomenal. Right down to the way the players' faces are reacting. You're not going to have, I don't think, any complaints from anybody when playing this game about the graphical capabilities and the Unreal Engine's capabilities. You're going to only have complaints about the gameplay, I think. So here's the team competition where you can go in and change any player's name. You got Dick Walden, Joey Chartier, Stanley Andrew, Ronnie Milan, all these beautiful names here. And you could go into any one of them and change Paul LeCoin's name if you want. And here's like the really disgusting amount of customization as I figure out how to type Peter Cottontail here. It's really everything you saw in the team customization you can do with the player. So if you want to change, the head and skin, we've got 50 different heads here so far, and you click on any hairstyle that you want here, and then it's, sky's the limit in terms of color for the player's head. Face paint, everything like that. You're going to get into this when you go to create a team or just fart around as you customize your player's helmet if you want it to be your own guy, or you can pretty much just edit every single player on your team. It makes you think of NBA 2K, the way they said, you know what, you should be able to customize pretty much anything, but since these players aren't licensed, you can really go in and change their appearance as much as you want. Of course, there's the Stadium Select, which doesn't exist yet because there's no other stadiums yet. The Lubbock Firebirds. That's it for the beta, the preview of Maximum Football. Check it out. Go download it on Steam. Give it an hour or two. Go play a full game. Don't make it 5 minutes because it's stop clock like college. Make it 3 minutes like it's set to default.